Hey guys, Indy with Ultimate Tool Reviews here. Wanted to quick check out the Ryobi 8-inch pruning chainsaw. Sometimes called a top handle chainsaw or like an arborist chainsaw. This is a smaller chainsaw made by Ryobi, and it's got some cool features about it. Of course, probably one of the first interesting things is the price. I got this brand new in the box. I forget where exactly I got it from, but I only paid about 50 bucks for it. Just tool only, just as you see here. About 50 bucks, and it's got some really neat features compared to some other top handle or pruning chainsaws that you'd find in the market. One thing that is, depending on what you do, could be a pro, could be a con, but there is no oiling system on this chainsaw. And that's kind of cool because I can throw it in my truck. I can not have to worry about it leaking oil all over the place. It's not really that big of a deal. But when I get to use it, I got to use it here and there to cut up some limbs randomly. I'm not using it super heavy usage, just for, limbing a few things, maybe breaking up a piece of log in the ground already. It's not too big. I don't need to bring a full-size chainsaw with me. This is pretty compact. But what I do, just to make sure it keeps running nicely, is I throw some maybe 3-in-1 oil on the bar and chain once in a while, just to make sure it's got some lubrication and to keep the heat down as well. Also, the model number of this chainsaw is the P5452. And I've seen them on sale at Home Depot. I think the lowest I've seen them come down to is about $79. But I think they sit around $100 or so most of the time at just regular retail price. Now, something to be careful with this chainsaw, it doesn't have a chain brake up here, so it's just got more of like a hand guard, but there is no brake here. So you want to make sure that you're definitely careful when you're using this. And all you do is you pull back, click that, and you're good to go. That's pretty much it. It's not too bad for length here. Let me grab a tape measure. I get the total length here. We're at about, with the bar and chain, just under about 19 inches there. And total height, it's like we're just under 8 inches. And total width with the handle, looks like we're right under 7 inches there. So, pretty tiny, pretty compact chainsaw. This is one of those tools where I have ran it with a adapter. And let me grab that adapter as well. I've got some Ryobi batteries that I use once in a while, but I think they're just both like 1.5 amp hours. So I think I bought this on Amazon. It was like 20 bucks. Snaps right in there, and I can throw some larger Makita batteries on here. So got a 4 amp hour battery there. Works just fine. Now, of course, I'm not using this chainsaw super heavy. I'm not using it for extended amounts of time. I don't want to burn up the battery, the adapter, or the tool itself. So, of course, you want to be careful there when you're using a battery adapter. Can be a little tricky there, but for what I use this thing for, it's kind of more of almost just a throwaway tool at times, too, just because I got it so cheap, and there's no oiler for this bar and chain, so I don't necessarily expect this to last too long here. But other than that, I found this chainsaw actually be extremely useful. It's kind of my go-to chainsaw when I'm cutting anything that is 8-inch bar and chain here. I'm kind of thinking about 4 inches or larger. It really blasts through it really nicely. And of course, buying new bar and chain fists is pretty cheap too. You can find them online and in stores, relatively cheap too. So nothing to worry about too much there. But other than that, guys, it's a pretty affordable chainsaw by Ryobi, and for majority of your chainsaw uses, unless, of course, if you got larger trees on your property and you cut larger trees, if you're using a chainsaw you can kind of grab and go, cut some smaller materials up with, this is definitely the chainsaw I would recommend. Of course, you got some of the competitors. You got the Milwaukee M12 Fuel Pruning Chainsaw. In my opinion, that one is just a bit pricey. I think it's like $160, $180 tool only. Kind of pricey there for just what it is. Kind of same goes for that Makita too. Then Makita makes a top handle 18-volt chainsaw, and it's pretty much regularly at about $200. I've seen it come down on clearance on sales to like $120, $140 in that range, but still kind of pricey. I'd say the only real good competitor to this saw is going to be the DeWalt Dwell makes a 20-volt max, and I think it's a 12-inch bar and chain on that one. And I've seen that one come down on sale at Home Depot for about $100. I have owned that one. Pretty nice saw. It does overheat a ton when I had that saw. I don't know if mine had an issue there, or that's just how they all are. But this is definitely a smaller, lighter saw. You possibly could find it cheaper. Just got to keep your eye out for deals and sales here. But other than that, this is definitely a nice go-to chainsaw. Don't need to worry about oiling the chain. Of course, I would say still oil the chain yourself here and there. But don't need to worry about throwing your truck. Don't need to worry about it leaking oil over the place. And other than that, fantastic deal. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you used this one in the past or what you guys think of it. And take care.